All right, so let's take a quick look at where we left off last time. I'm just gonna hit spacebar to play this. You can see this dude is totally amazed by this spaceship. He looks around. Oh, there it is again, and that's why I was laughing the last video. I'm probably gonna lop this video out about frame 133. So let's just change this end to 133 here, and that'll stop the rendering. It'll cut it off there. And what we're going to be doing in this video is a process called masking, where we'll mask out a section that will not allow this ship to be rendered through when we go to render it. So let's go up here and go to Movie Clip Editor. I'm just clicking this little guy here, and this is where we're going to do a lot of our setup for masking. So go ahead and click this. And you could also see that it's mapped to Shift F2. All right, let's go to the top here and select our movie clip. You can see it's here. All right, so let's do like we did before with the bouncing ball and hit prefetch, and then let it cache in all the frames. So let's really briefly switch back to 3D really quick. And it's a frame about 57 for me when that ship starts to go through his shoulder. So let's go back down here to Movie Clip Editor and let's change this to masking. And this is where we're going to mask out the best that we can, essentially this shoulder region here. And then we'll go all the way to the other side where it starts to come out. All right, so let's go ahead and create a new mask. And you have to do that by hitting new here. And let's see. And we'll name this mask Spaceship Mask. In case you decide to put different elements in the scene that you want this character to be masked out from. All right, so default, you should be down here on this tab here, the data layer. And let's leave that open. And then let's go down to, let's see, mask at the bottom here. And let's make a new mask layer. And I usually just name this like Spaceship Mask Layer. All right, so do you remember from last time when we masked our, if you remember last time, sorry, I didn't mean to hit, let's go back to 3D really quick. I lost my place. So here we go. He's impressed, it goes down. Pretty much the entire masking area is this shoulder here. So what I'm going to do is go to, let's see, frame 55. And if you remember last time when we were creating the mask for our bouncing ball, what we did was we held control and we just started clicking. So I'm just going to do the same thing here. Just kind of click, do my best to mask out that shoulder. For now, it doesn't necessarily need to be perfect. Maybe we'll just do this whole area. I don't know if that's overkill, but we could always just kind of tweak it later. Now, to close it off, hit Alt and C, and that should close off your mask here. There we go. Just double checking. I hit A to select all and then Alt C to close it off, close off the mask. All right, and one thing I didn't think about is if you right click here, like right on the edge, here, let's hit right here. I'm gonna right click, sorry, between these two. And I'm gonna do another vertical split and just place it here. And then let's hit T to hide that side thing and then N to hide this side. We'll just make this a 3D layout or 3D viewport. And that's going to help us to, let's hide that. There we go. So that always gets me. And that's going to help us to sort of really see when it starts to fly in. So here's frame like 57 really, which is what I should have done. And so I'm going to just go ahead and we'll start to edit this so that it really matches that shoulder as this thing starts to come in. All right, so what I did is I went back in here and you can see I sort of started to animate these as this ship starts to come through. I just went in and once this ship got to this shoulder point here and it starts to clip through, then I started moving these points around. Like I would grab this and just kind of start shifting them this way. because I really don't need this many points, because really we're just trying to get this mask. And I'm going to hit A and I here again. And you can see that it animates as it's coming through. We have that blocked out. And then by at this point, I let it slide. I don't care because the ship is already outside of here when the guy's looking at it. And I also kind of let this side slip for the mask, because as long as it's masking on his chest as that ship's going through, so there it is. Let's also kind of expand our 3D view here for a moment and just take a look at how this will look in render view. You can see here that the lighting is a little bit off. See, something else that we need to do, and this is why we're not seeing our image, is go to your, let's see. A renderer here, and then go to film and turn on transparent. That should let us see our image. Now, something else we should do is just kind of rotate our light. I'm just hitting R here, and I'm going to rotate this a little bit so it faces this way. And then let's hit 0 to go back to that camera view. And just go to the settings of the light. Let's see. And just increase that strength a little bit. And I might just hit Shift D and duplicate it. And then I'm just going to hit R and just rotate it from the bottom. And you could grab the color from the scene, like maybe from a little bit of his shirt or something, and make it look like some of the bounce light from the shirt is hitting the spaceship. And let's see. So yeah, that looks, I mean, it's okay. Like really you want to use an HDR image, but I don't want to get into that too much now. There's a lot of content that's already here, and a lot of you are learning Blender for the first time. But this is kind of a good trick. Whereas like as the ship is coming in, and we could animate this light here. So for instance, like maybe let's insert a keyframe here and then make this white. Let's like a white light. And then as it gets closer, we got to turn on, auto key's on. Let's make this white. Here we go, white. And then that's keyed. And then when it gets here, we just grab this and then we sample that shirt as he gets closer. And then we key that. So as it's coming in, let's make this a little bit whiter, a little bit longer. He gets close to the guy, and that shirt starts to cast some orange onto the ship. And then he flies in, comes around this way, that orange is still there. And as he takes off, we just copy this key. Control C, Control V. And then here, let's copy this and delete this one out. He starts to turns white as he takes off. So let's go ahead and take a look at how we're going to composite this. Make sure to save your scene and go up to the compositing tab at the top and then click on use nodes. So we have this render node here, and you can see we actually have our spaceship in our scene. We also need a viewer, so go ahead and hit spacebar and start, right click, hit add. Let's see. Hit Shift A and just start typing viewer. There we go. And then just sync this in to here. And you can see now that we have a much better rendered view of our spaceship with that lighting underneath it. And as we scroll through, might have to do an update there. Here's our render layers tab. And looks good so far. So if you hold Alt and V, let's click inside of here for a second. You could zoom in and then zoom out like that to give yourself some more space. And just like we did with the bouncing ball, go ahead and hit Shift A and hit movie clip to add our movie clip node. This is what we're going to use to add the movie of the man looking around. If you remember from the last lesson, we used the alpha over node. And this is what we use to take one image and put it on top of the other image like that. Bloop. And then we could take this image and then just wire that in. Boom, like that. All right, so something that was weird that happened was my ship disappeared. But then after I hit F12 to render it, it popped back into place. So, yeah, I mean, Blender, I love it. It's my favorite program, but sometimes it's quirky. And if you please do your homework early, don't wait till the night before to get help. But if you notice any sort of quirkiness going on or weirdness, like let's knock it out because the assignments are pretty deep. You have to do this and do your own shot. So please don't wait and ask for help. And I'm pretty generous when it comes to things like extension stuff. So anyway, here's our scene. We want to get it so that, let's see, convert pre-multiplied as well. We want to get it so this animation starts updating. Because if I go over here and I hit F12, you can see that the ship is there. So it is updating. All right, so let's go ahead and mask out the ship on the character's body. So hit Shift A, just start typing mask. And then I'm just going to add a mask here. Fan this out. And then I want to select the spaceship mask. And let's see. Let's bring it up here. Let's wire this into where it says FAC here. Let's see. Now what happens is, let's go to layout here to a shot where the ship is halfway through. So something like this. And let's go back to compositing. And let's hit F12. You could see that the ship is, it's in the wrong mask. Like we want to invert it so that it uses all of the areas outside of that region to mask out the ship. So let's go ahead and close this. And then I'm going to hit Shift A, and I'm going to click on invert. And we want a invert color. And then let's just make sure that's all wired in. And then let's hit F12 here. And let's go back to layout. And you can see that our ship is inside here, so we're not going to see it. But when it's out here, let's hit F12. You can see that it's there. We start to go in this way. The ship goes behind our character. Let's hit F12. You can see it's cut out from that mask. Just kind of going through. It's going behind our guy. And as long as you have, like, if you go to your compositing tab here, I have to research this. I know there's a way that you can just kind of scroll through and it will update in the scene. It's kind of escaping me at the moment, but for now, we can just go ahead and do render animation. And actually, I should have, here, I'm going to stop this for a second. Under our output here, I want to make sure it's on FMPEG. And then inside this area here, we want to do a spaceship so it doesn't write over that other scene. Let's see, spaceship underscore comp. I'm going to hit escape on that. And then under encoding, medium quality. We can do high quality because it's for our portfolio. And then just go ahead and do render. And then do render animation. And let's see how this looks. I'm going to pause the video. It looks like it might have an issue. Like it's not blending right. So actually that worked out fine. Here's my render. You can see my ship comes in, flies behind the guy. He turns around and he sees the spaceship and it flies off. That's really it for this one. And yeah, I mean, again, start early and then hit me up if you need additional help.